Welcome to this GiftWorks quick video. My name is Jonathan Lehman and I'm going to be showing you a new feature in GiftWorks 2010 that gives you additional flexibility in managing your donor contact information. GiftWorks 2010 is the latest release of GiftWorks and it was released on September 8th, 2009. As in prior versions of GiftWorks, GiftWorks gives you the flexibility of having as many addresses, phones, and emails as you desire or need for a particular donor. There's no limitation to that. But with GiftWorks 2010, there's a new feature that in addition to specifying which of those is the primary address, primary phone, and primary email, you can also specify which is the second and third for each particular type of contact information. Let's show you that by signing into GiftWorks. And let's add a donor. So we're going to add an individual donor here. As we go through the donor dialog, you'll see we get to the place where we can key in an address. The address here that you specify and the phone and the email that you specify will become the primary address, phone, and email for this donor. So we'll key in an address. Key in a phone number. And an email. Go through the rest of the dialog. We'll choose the option to add more details to this donor. Now, nothing much. It's pretty standard. Is the way it worked in prior versions of GiftWorks. Nothing much has changed there. Now, when you get in here, if you edit this, you'll see if we edit that address, we'll see that that's the mailing address, which would show up in mailings. This is the primary phone, and this is the primary email. And if you notice while I was in there, there's some additional options. What we'll do is we'll add an additional address. So let's say we want to add the work address for Jonathan. So that's his business address. And we have the ability here to say that that's his second address. And we'll see how that works as we continue. So you can see here it shows that the address type, the first one is mailing, this one is a secondary. We can also add a third one if we wanted. For phones, a good use of this might be, let's say this is his home phone number. Let's say we want to add a fax number. So we could say, actually a mobile phone would probably be more relevant. So we'll add a relevant phone number. And we'll say that's his mobile phone number, and that's his second phone. Maybe he has a work and a home cell phone, or work and a personal cell phone. So we'll maybe add another phone. And we'll say this is his, we'll say it's his personal mobile phone. And we'll say that's his third phone. And you see as we add each of these types, that it basically shows that type here on this list. Many people have multiple emails nowadays. So let's say this is his personal email. Let's say we want to add another email that maybe is his work email. So we'll call it his work email. And we'll say Jonathan work. And we'll say that's his second email. And again, we could have a third email if we want to. Now the power in this is, again, I could add as many as I want. I could add another informational one if I wanted. The power of this is where the second and third information is available in Smart Lists and reports. So let's save this. First of all, let me just show you that if you go to the contact information, it shows there that it shows your mailing, your primary phone, your primary email, and then second, third phone, second email. It would include it like that on your summary report. Same type of information. Now here's the real power in this. Is let's say we're going to go to our all donor smart list. Let's say all this information is very important to us when we're reviewing donors, looking at donors. So let's say for whenever we're looking at the all donor smart list, it's important to us not only the primary information, which is already available, but also their secondary information, like their cell phone numbers or maybe their business emails. So if we customize and choose what columns, you can see as we scroll down here, we currently have the phone on there. We don't even have the primary email. We'll do the primary email. But as we go down here further, we can include the second phone name, the second email name, include the second address, steady state, we'll just include some of this information just to show you the different information that's available for the second address. And we'll also maybe include third phone, third email. We won't include the third address at this point, although that is available also. So we click OK. You can see that for Jonathan Lehman, now when I review Jonathan Lehman's record, I can see where his primary address is. I can see that his mobile phone number. I can see his business email. I can see his secondary address, which is his work address. I could have put there's the address type. And as I get over here, I can also see his third phone number, which is his personal phone and so forth. We could have included the third information. So that's the power in this, is that basically this information is now available to list for an individual on the smart list and donor reports. So if I export this information, I can export this to an Excel or to a CSV file. And when I do that, that information will be in that Excel file. Let me show you the report. The same information is available, so I do a donor by smart list report. Include all donors. Again, I can customize the report. As you can see, by default it includes some of the primary address information, primary phone, primary email. But then I have the ability to go down here, and now I have a second set of fields. So I can include phone 2. I can include address 2, address 2 name. I even have my phone. And I won't include the other. I have the same third information available for email and address, but I didn't really add anything for anybody. So again, if we go down, scroll down, find Jonathan Lehman, scroll over, you can see that readily available to me on this report is his secondary phone information, third phone information, and email information as I desire to add to this report, whatever I decide to add. So it's very important as in this day and age when people have multiple cell phone numbers, often multiple email addresses, that you can have more of that information readily available to you. It was always available by going in and viewing the donor and running some other reports, but now it's available on most reports that you can readily have that information at your fingertips as you're running reports or communicating. And again, one of the values here again is that you could export this list and do a CSV or an Excel file, and it would include that information in that Excel file or the CSV file. Let's go back into the donor. Let's go back into Jonathan. There he is. Works very similar to editing other types of information, that I can add additional addresses. If I would add an additional address and say it's the second address, say he has a summer home. We won't even bother putting address in. If I made that the second address, clicked OK, it would make that the secondary and change the other one to an informational address. So basically you can have one primary of each of these, of the phone, email, and address. And you can have one secondary and one third, and then you can have as many informational as possible. The informational addresses are available primarily only on some special reports. All those additional addresses are available on some additional donor addresses report and donor phones and emails report. So on these reports, this lists all the addresses, but you can also limit them by the type of address. So you can just see all your second address, third addresses, or so forth. So you just want to include your second or third addresses on here. You can. And you also have a donor phones and emails report, which is very similar, which lets you print any email that you have for any donor, but you can also limit it by the type. So that kind of gives you an idea of the additional flexibility. We hope that you can see the use for this, and we hope that, thank you for watching this video, and we hope in some small way GiftWorks helps you accomplish your mission as an organization.